Hey y'all, I'm here with my sister Alianna. She is born and raised in New York City, and we're going to be talking about why she's decided to leave New York.
Hi guys, so yes, I am Alianna, Esther's favorite sister. The best thing that ever happened to her, actually. And I am born and raised in New York. I am an IT site and admin by trade right now. But I work for a startup, which means I pretty much run the entire IT operations. I'm the only one in the US, so I do all of the coding. I do all of the network setup and troubleshooting, and then I also do the hardware configuration and software configuration. Pretty much anything IT related, it falls on my plate. In terms of New York, I will say that when I was growing up, the reason that I didn't want to leave New York is because my mom was like, I am never, ever leaving New York. And I was like, my mother, who I love you. I will never leave you ever. And I don't think a lot of you guys had that same issue. I'm a mama's girl. And so when they were all like, I'm gonna have this huge mansion, blah, 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 I was like, I'm gonna live with my mom forever and just love and take care of her forever. If I act, direct, and write as my side hustle, so to speak. When you consider things that you can and can't live without, I can live without IT. I cannot live without having some form of creativity in my life.
Okay. So when you say like, all right, acting and directing and writing, those are your passions, right? Mm-hmm. So do you not feel you can pursue those in New York City?
I feel like you can definitely pursue those in New York. And New York is actually doing a lot to invite the film industry back into New York, especially the city. However, New York is very expensive.
Sensitive topic alert. How do you feel about being a Latina and also considering yourself Black? Do you feel like you get a lot of pushback from...
I get a crap ton of pushback. I have been told my entire life that I was not dark enough to be considered Black. And my Spanish brethren, they said that because I don't speak Spanish, I am not Spanish. So there was a point where I was very young when I reached this point too. It just shows you the level of... Do you curse on this show?
Well, no, because we like to get monetized one day.
The amount of F's I give. But I decided very young that if the Black people want to have me and the Spanish people want to have me, I would just be me,
Absolutely.
And it's actually really funny because I kind of hold this ideology right now, which shows my grudge up against it. But I always said from like when I was young, if I ever like blew up or made money, and then those communities,
you would Tiger Woods yourself.
I would Tiger Woods myself. Those communities would be like, oh, she's Black or she's Spanish or whatever. I'd be like, I don't know you unless you're Honduran, because I totally claim Hondurans. You guys are. But if we're talking about specific ethnic groups, Tiger Woods.
I feel that way too because I noticed. You're, as a Latina, you're not Black until it's time to protest.
Yep.
It's time to protest, and they're like, they look at you the same, and you're like,
or until it's time to give money, and then they're
right.
like, why don't you help your community?
Right. But if you like outwardly say like I'm Honduran and I'm Black, they're like,
exactly.
So I find that so funny, and especially because our whole lives, both parents are Honduran, and both parents said, you're Black.
Yeah.
And then you go to the outside world, and they're like, you're not one of us.
And you're
exactly.
Like, exactly.
Too Brutus.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, like, especially on our father's side, and even our mom's actually, but we could trace our lineage back generations, like before slavery.
Yeah, at least.
And it's
I want to say
always
at least
in America.
500 years, like they've given us.
Yeah. It's always Central America that we're from. and the island. So,
right.
If people want to talk about
pre-Honduras, it was Nicaragua and St. Kitts and.
Mm-hmm. So if people want to talk about not knowing who you are, because I get that a lot. It's like, you don't even know who you are. We know.
We know.
We know.
I once had like a discussion on a famous YouTuber, Jules's comments, where they told me that rhetoric was just rhetoric, that I was given stories but they don't actually know. And I thought that was like, what?
What?
Yeah, it was a real thing. It was a real thing. Imani was so offended. But
I would have. I'm offended right now.
It left me stunned. Yes, they were like, you have African phenotypes, and everyone knows how I feel about Africans. I find them so gorgeous, you know. And if
there's some beautiful people,
I could like pick, I'd probably be from like Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But and that's no offense to my North kid. But I just find even like the vibrant colors and all that to be really beautiful, you know. And so, like, when people are offended when I say I'm not African, I just find that so incredible, because it's me saying I'm not African has nothing to do with how I feel about Africa.
Yeah.
Number one, it's a continent. It's not a country.
Yeah.
And number two, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I can't think of one African country where I haven't seen gorgeous people from. And, like, their bodies, whoo! Child, you know, like, why not?
I take offense from that specifically because I have had to fight for my identity like my entire life.
Whole life.
So when people are like, oh, but you're from Africa, I'm like, whoa, hold on. You're not going to erase generations of my culture, especially given that our people were erased. Like, you look back at our languages, we don't have them anymore. So you and your woke culture are not going to further erase us. Like, this is who I am.
Right.
You don't know anything about me.
It's total erasure, right?
Yeah.
It's like a total erasure from all sides.
Yeah.
It is. So how do you feel that will affect you in either of those two places? Like, you know, with Atlanta being Black Hollywood, or LA being notorious for choosing a lighter skinned
yes,
actress, you know, where I feel you would fall into that bracket. Or I don't know too much about Austin, Texas, but the way you described it to me, it's more of an indie market where I feel they might go for more a mulatto looking person, you know? Mm-hmm. How do you feel these places would affect you career wise, since you are moving for career driven purposes?
Yes. I'm definitely moving to follow my passions, because I feel like if you don't take a chance on your dreams, then you just waste your life.
Right.
In terms of how I feel like this pushback in my own culture and skin tone would affect me, I've reached a point where I've kind of accepted it. Like, Hollywood is gonna be Hollywood, whether it's Atlanta, LA, Austin. Like, I can't change
who you are,
who I am. This is it. This is the package, you know? I can't change this, and I don't want to change it. I really like all this, you know? However, that being said, if they choose to block me out for some reason, like, I'll make my own path.
Right.
And you've already seen this year where I am doing that. Like, if you don't want to write something for me, or if you don't want me on your project, I'll make my own. I write and I direct, and I have friends who write and direct, and I'll just build my network until we're too loud for you to silence us.
Right. I hear you. So, what would be the ultimate deciding factor in where you choose? All right, because, you know, myself and Imani, we're planning on leaving New York City as well. So, I know you have friends in LA.
Yes.
I know you don't have anyone in Atlanta.
No.
Well, how are you making this decision? Is this like going to be like a lottery ticket? Is this going to be based on the projects that come in between there and now, should I say? Or is this going to be based on like an emotional, or I shouldn't say emotional, intuitive? Are you basing this intuitively? Are you basing this on what's already going to be on the table? Are you basing this on proximity to support?
I'll be completely honest right here. I'm saving up money, and what I'm hoping to do is to pay at least 6 months rent in LA, so that I can.
So you're already leaning towards LA.
Well, I'm leaning towards LA, but that is based on prospective projects, because I'll have a network out there,
right,
pre-built. So my connections are already out there. If I do LA, 6 months, and I'm done. However, I don't plan on making a decision until, or I should say, I don't plan on moving until my birthday.
Got it. That's my projected move day as well.
Yeah. So my decision should come at least.
Should I say after?
My decision should come at least around May. Hopefully, I'll have decided by May. But if I start to build a network in Atlanta, it's way cheaper. I was looking at the houses out there, like, y'all live good. And then I saw this like fried lobster inside a lobster shell on top of macaroni and cheese, and I was like, y'all live good. But LA, I have the network pre-built, and it really just depends on which one at the time is one more financially stable, because in LA I will be very far away from support. In Atlanta, I could always drive back up to New York and be like, Mom, I've made a terrible mistake. But then in Atlanta, I feel like because it's Black Hollywood, there's a lot more people that will see my vision, because one of the things that I do as a creator, whether it's writing, casting, directing, whatever, all of my projects, I want them to be written for minority characters. And that's not to say that I won't have white actors, but all of my main roles will be for minority characters, and also trying to have more of an inclusive environment, whether that be LGBTQ or deaf actors or handicap actors. I just want to create a more inclusive environment, because I feel like if you write a deaf character, there's no reason
to not have a deaf person play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like Hollywood's starting to open up to that, but I feel like there should be a lot more opportunity there.
I always imagine that, like, you know, when they have these blind actors or these deaf actors, like, are these disabled people viewing these things or listening to these things and thinking, what a pile of shit. A blind person would never do that. A deaf person would never do that. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, the authenticity must be like...
There's a movie, and I really enjoy this movie. I enjoy the movies that I don't give credit to. I will say that. But it's called At First Sight. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No.
It is literally a love story between a seeing character and a non-seeing character. Like, the guy has lost his vision, and they meet, and it's like love at first sight. He gets his surgery via her to see, and then he's like their love deepens. They have trouble, whatever, but yeah, it's a good movie. The guy who played that character was a seeing character. Like, he had no vision issues whatsoever. And all I could think, and I saw this movie ages ago, it's a really old movie, but all I could think when I was watching it was like, why couldn't a blind actor play that? Like, there's so few roles for them already, and now they actually have a role that's written for them, and you're not giving it to them.
Not even casting.
Yeah. So it's like, those underrepresented communities are the ones that I want to focus on. Hollywood can have their Jennifer Aniston, who I love, and then Natalie Portman, who I adore. But I want to focus on something else. I want to build something else.
Got it. So, I guess that's about it. You're moving for professional purposes. You have 3 choices lined up. You've already explained to us what the deciding factor would be. And
I will say also, New York, I feel, picks really stupid politicians.
not Michael Bloomberg. I love you, baby.
I don't know how Cuomo got reelected.
Hate him.
I don't know how de Blasio got reelected. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know if it's just because they're Democrats on a ticket, but
no, it was poor choices that followed them.
Yeah,
except for Cuomo, he had like some good competitors. It's just boomers. Yeah.
Oh, boomers.
Boomers. Yeah, very interesting. What are you gonna miss most about New York? Like, I know I love New York City.
The public transportation. Like, I've been to LA.
Oh,
they have nothing compared to me. I don't, and a lot of people that have come here have said it. There's nothing compared to New York City transit. And
my dad built this city.
I crap on New York City transit a lot because it's gross sometimes, but the ease of just getting around, like, I can get anywhere in the city within 20 minutes.
I hear you. I Uber everywhere, and if not, express bus.
Can I just say, yes, she lived in Brooklyn for a little while, and her boyfriend at the time would literally walk her
to the train station,
and she would swipe her Metro card.
I had a Metro card.
Wait for him to leave.
Look both ways.
And then come back out and take a cab.
Right on. Hate public transportation. I never go underground. It's for killers only.
It's for the old people.
I noticed like a huge exodus in New York City. So you stand in great company. We are New York Cityers who love New York. It's just that, you know, for one reason or the other, mostly ethical reasons, we are leaving. And it's, you know, because honestly, while New York is expensive, we don't know it's expensive. We don't know any better. It just feels normal. So, like, leaving New York for economics is not really a thing because your paycheck is so big. And though they rob you in taxes, you don't really pay attention to that. You know, that expense is not really...
It's not the day-to-day expenses that get you. It's when you see the way that they treat corporations and hire investors that you're like, why are you not treating
me this way?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why am I bearing the brunt of this? Especially, no offense, Albany, who does nothing for New York and pays like
nothing,
and we have to pay taxes for them
and beg for help with our schools and everything else.
Yeah, they get the good schools and the extracurricular activities, and meanwhile we don't even have computers in half of our classrooms.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
Well, thank you, Alianna.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.